Is Josh Jacobs done with the Las Vegas Raiders? Could Davante Adams be regretting his decision to come over here to Las Vegas to play with his best friend, and the Raiders lose yet another key piece on defense? I'm going to talk about all that on this video, but first, a quick word from our sponsor. I do want to let you guys know, if you guys are going to go to the game this weekend or any other Raiders game this year, then I want to let you guys know about the Game Time app. If you're looking for some cheap last-minute tickets for the Raider game or just any other events, then this is the app for you. Not only do they provide great prices, but when you're looking for tickets, they show you your exact view from your seat. Use my promo code SamoaRaider to get $20 off your first order of $150 or more.
And you tell them one thing, just win, baby.
Now, what is up, Raider Nation? It's the day after Christmas. I hope everybody had a happy holidays, a jolly Christmas. Everybody got what they wanted since the Raiders couldn't give us a W on Saturday night. But you know what? That's besides the point right now. One thing I do want to talk about today, and one thing I keep thinking about, is this clip that obviously has went viral around the Raider Nation of Josh Jacobs voicing his frustrations after the game on Saturday. Of course, I love the fact that he was being real. He was being honest after a game that really frustrated him as well as the rest of the Raider Nation. But listening to it closely, it seems like he's done with this organization, which begs the question, is this the last that we'll see of Josh Jacobs in the silver and black?
Man, I'm tired of dealing with this shit. Like, every day I come here and bust my ass. I see the guys, bust their ass, and the result is not there. And, for me, the last 4 years, the result hasn't been there. And quite frankly, I don't know what else to do. So, yeah. That shit is what it is.
Now, before I can continue to talk about this, let's take a step back. Let's rewind it all the way back to last offseason. The Raiders hired Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler. They brought in their own regime. They also bring in a plethora of running backs, possibly bringing in a running back by committee for this season. Max Crosby gets his extension, Hunter Renfrow gets an extension, Derek Carr gets his extension, and even Darren Waller gets an extension as well, leaving Jacobs with no fifth-year option or extension. The Raiders also draft Zeus in the 4th round. Then in the Hall of Fame game, no starters played in that game but Josh Jacobs, leaving us to question his future role with the team. And you guys seen it early on this season in the first couple of games. Josh Jacobs in this run game was rarely being utilized out there, even though he was running efficiently. But once Josh McDaniels figured it all out and gave Josh Jacobs the keys, this dude ran with it. He took off this season and is now the best running back in the NFL today, with over 1,500 yards rushing, 11 touchdowns, and averaging 5 yards per carry. And I've stated this over and over and over again, that this offense does run through Josh Jacobs. He's the main reason why we're winning most of these games, and he's the main reason why we won most of those games at the end of last season. Josh Jacobs is a great player. This is a guy that definitely should have got signed throughout the offseason, but obviously, he was not in the plans for Josh McDaniels. But Josh Jacobs said, fuck that, this is gonna be my last. If this is gonna be my last year with the Raiders, I'm gonna fight for that contract. And so far, he's been living up to that hype. So to see him work as hard as he is for this team to be 6-9 and possibly out of the playoffs, of course, I would be tired of dealing with this shit as well.
Man, I'm tired of dealing with this shit.
Josh Jacobs is going to be a free agent next offseason with no ties to the silver and black. So if he wanted to leave and go to a more successful team where he could possibly thrive, he can. This is his 4th season as a Raider, and every year he's given his best to this team. Of course, he's dealt with his injuries, his ups and downs, but to run for over 1,000 yards in 3 of those 4 seasons and to go over 10 plus touchdowns in 2 of those seasons, he's doing something right. Not only has he voiced his own frustrations with the team, but he also threw a bit of a shot at how bad this offense has been.
Yeah, man, it's bullshit for real. It's bullshit, and it's on us. Everybody wanted talk about the defense, but fuck, they made their stops when they were supposed to. Shit, we gotta help them out, and I'm tired of saying we gotta fucking help them out. And it's just frustrating. We still had opportunities to make plays. I feel like in times where we was close and we felt like we was about to get a big one, we went away from it. And the pass game was working early, so that is what it is. But to win these games, you know, especially at the end of the stretch, especially when you up, you know, against a team like this in the cold, you got to run the ball.
And he's 100% right. I know I talked about this so many different times throughout the season and especially in this last video, but the defense may not be top 15, may not be top of the pack, probably bottom of the pack throughout the whole NFL. But at the end of the day, they do enough to give the offense a lot of opportunities to go down the field, score, win games. But our offense has just not lived up to the hype that, you know, we all expected them to be. You know, this should be an offense that should be scoring over 28 points a game, but they're rarely even doing that. So there definitely should be no blame to the defense, especially in this last game. Plus, you look at this last game, the Raiders went away from one thing that was really working for them early on in the game, and that was running the ball. So with all that being said, this is why I ask you guys, do you guys feel like Josh Jacobs is done with the Las Vegas Raiders? In my honest opinion, I feel like if Derek Carr is still going to be here as the quarterback next season for the Las Vegas Raiders, I don't think he's going to stay. But if we do some way cut ties with Derek Carr, then I feel like we will re-sign Josh Jacobs. Not to say that Josh Jacobs doesn't want to play with Derek Carr, but my reasoning just comes down to money. You know, I feel like the Raiders can only afford to pay Josh Jacobs what he's worth if we free up some cap space and Derek Carr is gone, you know. Unless Josh Jacobs takes somewhat of a pay cut or a discount to stay with this team, which I don't think he should. That's the only way I can see both of these dudes returning next year. You guys already know how I feel about Derek Carr. I'm not going to yap about it. If you guys want to see that, look at the last video. But it seems like Josh Jacobs isn't the only player that's frustrated with this team, because there's another player in the locker room that kind of, you know, do a little bit of hints out there of his frustration, and that is wide receiver Davante Adams. Now, there was a tweet that was going around, you know, from Brian Baldinger that kind of went viral because Davante Adams liked it, saying, "Raiders, are you allowed to throw to Tay Adams? He played in this weather for 8 years." Now, after reading that, this can only be directed to two people on this team. One being the head coach, Josh McDaniels, with his play calling, and two could be his best friend, Derek Carr, for all those overthrows that he had in this past game. It's just sad to me that you have an elite wide receiver like Davante Adams, who thrives in cold weather games like this, just to come away with only 2 receptions for 15 yards? That is unacceptable. And of course, I would be pissed off as well. But the only reason that would make sense to me is obviously quarterback Derek Carr. We already know how great, you know, Davante Adams does play in cold weather, but we know as Raider fans that Derek Carr isn't the best player when he plays in the cold. I mean, this dude struggles in the cold, and you definitely seen that in this past game, only having 16 completions for 170 something yards, 3 interceptions, 1 touchdown. I mean, this guy, I don't know what it is, he just can't play in the cold. So with that said, you know, I don't know what the future holds for these two. You know, like I said before, you guys already know how I feel Derek Carr, and who knows if he's going to return to the Las Vegas Raiders next offseason. And if he is gone, will Davante Adams even want to stay with this team? I highly doubt it, but you know, that's just how I feel. What do you guys think, Raider Nation? Do you guys feel like Davante Adams is slowly getting frustrated with Derek Carr, or do you think that he's just frustrated with Josh McDaniels? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below.
Yo, Raider Nation, I know that you guys been through a lot this week, but I'm here to let you guys know about something that'll cheer your weekend up. Woodson Bourbon Whiskey. Shout out to my guy, Charles Woodson, and Woodson Bourbon Whiskey. If you guys are trying to look for something to sip the pain away, you know, drink responsibly, then head over to WoodsonWhiskey.com to find a bottle near you or have it shipped directly to your door. Because I know for a fact, win, lose, or draw, Woodson Bourbon Whiskey gonna be there for you.
Now, in some last bit of news, according to some reports out there, it looks like linebacker Denzel Perryman underwent a successful surgery on his left shoulder, most likely ending his 2022 season. Now, Perryman will be a free agent next offseason, so hopefully the team can possibly bring him back. This kind of sucks that we lose yet another linebacker on the roster, but it is what it is. We only got 2 more games left of the season. I don't really care about the Kansas City Chiefs game. It is what it is. As long as we go out there on New Year's Day and whoop those San Francisco 49ers. I mean, that's the only game that I want to win. I know I've been saying that in my last video. I've been saying that all year. If we're not going to be going to the playoffs this year, at least go out there and beat the 49ers. Now, since I'm talking about Josh Jacobs today, and since we don't know his future in the silver and black, if you guys do want to meet Josh Jacobs and you're going to be coming to Las Vegas this weekend, December 30th, the League of Banners will be hosting a meet and greet with the Pro Bowl running back Josh Jacobs at the Beast Mode store in Las Vegas. The Blackout crew as well as myself will be over there as well, so if you guys are trying to come through and want more information on this, I will be putting the link down in the description below. But we're not done just yet, because the Blackout crew will be throwing together the Blackout party December 30th that night after the Josh Jacobs signing at Illuminarium from 8 p.m. to 12 midnight. So if you guys are in the place to be coming for the Raider game, then come through and party it up with the Blackout crew. We got Black Sunday in the building selling merch. We got Woodson Whiskey. We got Pacifico Beers. We got DJ Mike Scott on the ones and twos. And we got a special performance from Namek. So if you guys trying to come through, then come through. With all that being said, if y'all enjoyed the video, man, don't forget to hit that like button. It does a lot for this channel. Also, if this is the very first time you're coming across my videos and you like it and you love the Las Vegas Raiders, then hit that subscribe button, hit that notification icon button to notify you guys when I upload more videos just like this one. Until the next video, this your boy Simone Raider, and your boy is
Started off in Oakland, now we here. Thought that we was done, we just hit another gear. Look, started off in Oakland, now we here. Hey, pull up with the nation in the silver black gear. Look, 4 games straight, we in the playoff. Shout out to the Chargers fans, y'all enjoy the layoff.